a new kind of intro to this Maytag series. In order to get some Fairbanks mowers, being a dishpan model, in order to get some Fairbanks mowers in on a Maytag video, just start off with there, I had to make a decision. When I opened the shop door this morning, I happened to remember that I had that magneto right in yonder, and that magneto wasn't on this engine when I got it. Now, I built that cart there last week and put up under yonder. I believe it's going to be a nice engine. This engine here came from Middle Tennessee, did. But anyways, I think I put that magneto on there, as it did have that bracket that had them holes drilled in it for that magneto. If you remember, it's a little bit different. But we going to get her on there. I ain't even got it. I'm going to need a gear. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm going to need that gear that goes on that magneto there. If you got one, I'm going to need it. And the other, to get this other, been a couple of comments on there about this engine, the head being back on it. That's not the case. There will be an upcoming video, but I did build that cart last week and got it up under yonder. And I did go ahead and buy that there rod and piston that was up yonder for sale up there on that buy and sale. Now see, that bracket's not drilled for the magneto. It would have been a buzz coil and a battery on this engine. But we are going to get this and running soon. The new parts is done come in. We've got them laid by, and that piston and rod that I done went and bought the other day, right there it is. And I sure did need that piston. If you remember, this one had that piston in there that's out of something else. It wasn't the right piston. The rod little end had been drilled out too. So we really need, I appreciate this whole deal on this rod and piston. That was above board. They still some good people out there in the world. I appreciate finding that there piston. I'm gonna put it in that electrolysis tank, and we're gonna get on over yonder to what today's project was. It's them rollers right yonder. That's what we're building today. It's that Garlite. Comes in several different grades there. Be sure to get the correct grade. It's got to have some impact resistance on it there. But this part right here, as with all of the rest of the parts, must be in close tolerance for a good running. All the parts in harmony with each other. You cannot have a bad part in the bunch, especially one of these little roller wheels that done already got flat on one side. The rollers for these pins, I have in the lathe the piece of Garlite, and it's a cloth with a resin binder. This happens to be a cord piece here. It comes in different sizes. I like to work with this Garlite. I turned that outside diameter right there to 360 thousandths. By testing all of these other ones here, I came up with an average of 360 thousandths on the OD. What I did is just drill that size to fit that, and then I let this size right here be the size for the pin minus 1/1000. There's about 1,000. It's a good fit, good tight fit. You see how that little roller works on yonder? You see that little roller? That's a nice one right there. And there is just ever such a little bit, just a half a thousandths or so is all you need of a collar right there, so that when you brad this up, it does not tighten that up, because that roller needs to be free. This Garlite seems to be a pretty decent copy of the original material. I would think it would be a little better grade. I just chose to make this batch. I'm making 12 of them here I'm making now. I've got the piece in here, and what I'm going to do is part it off in this condition here. And then what I will do in order to get the correct length is after I get them all made to this stage, then I'll put them back in there and face the length off, and that way I'll have a perfect straight edge. But just to part off, I've got the mounted upside down on the cross slide, and just come into the workpiece and part it right off. And we've got another one, just face it off and be ready to use. I've got about, well, I'm going to make some extra ones here. We're going to get on with it. This garolite seems to be a fairly stable material. It works really good in the lathe. If you read the cautions on it, there is some cautions about breathing the dust. Be cautious if you use it. The outside diameter there was 360 thousandths on the finished material, and you see I've got 374, so I need to take 14 thousandths off of yonder. The thing about this right here, if you're off a thousandths or so, it's of no consequences, because this can be adjusted with the stop screw on the governor arm. So, but we do need I'm not discounting the need to turn two exact sides. That's 366 thousandths, so we need to take off 6 thousandths. We're gonna get her done. That's 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll see what we got right yonder. That's 359. Can y'all see that yonder? That's 359.5 thousandths. We good to go there. Almost any day here in the shop, we'll give a half a thousandths anytime. That's the way that garolite looks there after it's been turned, with a pretty decent bit. I didn't grind that bit there special for that right there, but you know, it looks pretty good. I'm okay with that.